to welcome you to this particular platform. We would like to ask you a couple of questions about Tasveer, the platform itself, and then about the films and the filmmaking. So I've been chatting a little bit with Neil, but Neil, would you like to go ahead and tell us about?
Yeah, my film is a dark comedy that involves an accident and that forces my character to move back in with his father and stepmother. And then hilarity ensues, but also it deals with the subjects of grief and mental health, but we don't ever say it directly, That, a lot of times, especially in this day and age, we get really focused on depression, suicide, all these things, and it's great to talk about them, but the thing we kind of forget is love. At the opposite end, the other end of the spectrum is love. And so I wanted to have a movie that dealt with grief and depression and suicide, but also was really just about finding love again and realizing that the love that I thought I had lost was actually always around me. And so I built that love into the characters and into the situation. So it's less about my character becoming less depressed and more about my character realizing that the love of his mom isn't gone and she's still there, and the love of his father is still there, and all those things are always around, and we just get blinded sometimes when we get in our head about things, about all the love surrounding. So I think that's kind of the way I approached my film.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was very well done and good editing, and congratulations again. I wish you all the luck for future, and I'm sure it will be very well received. Rita?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm still recovering. So I was just coming back from returning hundreds of things to Amazon that I used during the festival.
I do the exact same thing too.
Oh, that's great.
Congratulations, Neil. It won the Best Audience Choice Award.
Thank you so much.
Talked about? Okay. I haven't stopped thinking about your film. I've been thinking about you, your film. I just kind of looked you up. I watched Queer Eye's second episode of the first season. I know everything about you, and that movie is stuck with me. It has entered me, kind of like it's one of the best short film and very well deserved. And the audience everyone who came up to me said they were just laughing, crying. You took us through so many emotions during that screening. I think it's one of my best moments.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. I think, me coming into Tasveer, not knowing that much about the festival, because it's my first film and my first film festival run, I kind of got in my head that a South Asian audience wouldn't like it because it's not heavily South Asian focused. And I don't know, that's why one of my favorite parts about Tasveer is like it's so vast, and it kind of showed me the difference between an Indian or a South Asian story and a South Asian voice. You don't have to tell a South Asian story to have a South Asian voice. And so I kind of felt so welcome. I've never had that before where, the majority of my team is not South Asian. And they were talking about how just awesome the festival was and how glad they were that it came out, and how it was just such a cool experience and just so different than the normal festivals we're used to, where, the diversity of films was just, I thought, incredible. And so to win audience choice was awesome. And, for me, just I don't want to say validation, but it showed me that I got to trust the audiences more and trust South Asians more to kind of be bigger than I thought they could be when it came to what they would accept and not accept, especially now when we were growing up as kids, like the story had to be a certain thing and had to, either it was I'm bringing someone home to get married to that you don't approve of, or to escaping poverty. Those things were kind of always there. So, but but after seeing Tasveer and seeing what everyone is doing now, they're just really pushing the envelope as to what like South Asian storytelling could be, and just really such a cool experience to have been a part of it.
Oh, thank you. This
Yeah.
means a lot. This whole thing, this experience is like coming full circle, right? We started out like we will push the envelope. We started doing back then, 21 years ago, vagina monologues, South Asian adaptation. People would write threatening letter to us. You're talking about vagina and penises and on the stage,
Right.
and they would. Uh, it's like everyone coming together and really embracing each other's stories is so healing, so fulfilling. No matter how small the story is, how vast or big production the film is, everyone received love and gave love to each other.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that the South Asian community could use a lot more of is that banding together. I think that's happened with a lot of other ethnic communities, but it hasn't really happened creatively with the South Asian community. I feel like we're a little scattered, and separated. So like something like this really shows that we don't have to be put against each other, And I think that's a thing that other people put on us. They pit us against each other, and they'll only cast one of us in their movie,
Yeah.
and so we feel that natural competition there, right?
Yeah, or put in a box, right? We don't have to be a
Right?
monolith.
Exactly. Like, and they just don't understand that when you say Indian, or when you say South Asian, like it's a wide net, and it's different from me to the person right next to me, 2 inches, there's a vast array of differences. And so, yeah, that's the one thing I really liked about Tasveer is because I've always felt that I was not South Asian enough, just, but it kind of shows you that that's just my insecurity, right?
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, like I am what I am.
Valid. Yeah.
That's it, and there's no like test I have to take to prove my experiences, my voice, and any of that stuff. And so it's really great what you're doing over there, Rita. And I hope that more people just come to it, even that aren't making films or aren't South Asian, because just from the experience my team had, like they want to come back just to hang out next year, like that's how much it.
Please come back.
Oh, great. I mean, I'm definitely coming next year. When is the festival next year, Rita?
October 1st or 2nd week. Just sign up on our newsletter so that you
I will
or Instagram. Yeah,
I definitely will.
Just
You want to talk about anything else which impressed you during the festival, and just something which will help you plan the festival for next year?
I think the production quality has gone through the roof. Now it's making my job so much harder to select films. We get like it's a niche market. It's South Asian driven content, right? So we get about 500, close to 500 films, and we select about 60 to 80 films, which makes our job harder. But this was without the Oscar qualification, when we were getting all the submissions, and it came the last week when the submission was already closing. So now we are going to see a big explosion of submissions.
It's gonna go way up.
We need more programmers. So if anybody is interested in signing up and reviewing films, and
the second film which Ruhi sent me about Eid Mubarak.
Yes, it's a beautiful film, very Wes Anderson kind of style, right? Inspired. Everyone enjoyed, and we wish all the best to the film. And very cute, sweet little film. It's already been considered for Oscars. So
I think it's won a couple Oscar qualifying festivals, and I think it's definitely going to win more. It's so well done. I think when it comes to like production value, you're talking about the creme de la creme. Looks like it was made by a major Hollywood studio. So that's just.
So tell us something about the Oscar qualifying criteria. How do you select based on that criteria?
Oh, we don't work from that point of view. We work whoever we are. We amplify South Asian, independent South Asian filmmakers' film, and we continue to do our work. We are not going to say what Oscars want, and let's gear
Yeah,
towards that.
that's
So
what I thought. Yeah.
yeah, it's whatever wins the jury award gets submitted, and
Okay. Yeah.
the jury prize is that gets to enter.
So which film got the jury award this year?
There were two films, American Sikh and Yellow from
Okay.
Afghanistan.
So can we still watch them online?
The festival ended on
I
22nd.
know. That's
We can ask
I
the
saw that.
filmmaker. Yes.
Yeah, if we can request the filmmaker, I would love to watch that. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, and I wish
I got one more thing I want to add about Eid and storytelling, the importance of Tasveer. So my dad, he actually saw Eid in Chicago, but he also came to Tasveer. And I remember him, he's from India, he's a Hindu. The story of Eid is a Muslim story.
Yeah.
But I remember him afterwards being excited after seeing the movie Eid, because he was like, there's a Telugu tradition that's very similar. And he was like telling me about it. So I think it's important for not just the people who make movies, but the people who are watching movies, like my dad, to kind of see the diaspora of South Asian stories and how, we think of ourselves as so different, Muslim, Hindu, all this stuff. At the end of the day, the stories always overlap. And so I don't know, I found that like a very sweet moment for me, seeing my dad there watching movies from countries he would never usually watch movies from. He would never usually watch a movie that was made by from Pakistan or about
Yeah,
yeah. So I just thought that was super cool and kind of beautiful, and it kind of just encompassed what Tasveer was to me, was just seeing the stories and then realizing that they are very different, but we're all humans. There's
the humanization. That's what I felt after watching the two films. It just brings us back to the fact that we are all human, and then all of us react almost similarly to all situations, and that is what we need to project. And I think that's what you guys are doing, and you're doing a wonderful job with that. Thank you so much.